Good evening, Eswatini, and welcome to the 8 p.m. news broadcast brought to you by Eswatini TV. My name is Nondobego Nzapkelwago. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines. His Majesty King Mswati III says prayers that have been made by the nation concerning the COVID-19 pandemic will be answered by the Lord. Her Majesty the Indlovukazi has assured eMaSwati that their Majesties are always thinking about ways to better the nation despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Government has incurred a loss of over 11 million eMalangeni in repairing accident-damaged government vehicles registered under the Royal Eswatini Police Service. The news. His Majesty King Mswati III says prayers that have been made by the nation concerning the COVID-19 pandemic will be answered by the Lord. His Majesty was speaking through His Royal Highness Prince Masitela at the Somhlolo Festival of Praise prayer service at the National Church in Lobamba. Since the pandemic started in the country, His Majesty has shown leadership that exalts God as the ultimate solution.
When their Majesties called a COVID-19 special prayer when the pandemic invaded the country, they set the tone for divine intervention. A further display of confidence in God's ability to heal the nation from the pandemic was witnessed when His Majesty, in his official COVID-19 national address, called on eMaSwati to make God the center of the fight against the pandemic. His Majesty's approach is in line with King Somhlelo's vision, which instructed the nation to make the Word of God, and indeed God Himself, the principal focus of life. While the nation commemorated the birthday of King Sobhuza II, the National Church in Lobamba became a powerful platform for religious leaders to lead the nation in solemn prayers for divine intervention as Eswatini continues to put up a gallant fight against the pandemic. His Majesty King Mswati III was represented by His Royal Highness Prince Masitela. His Majesty the King says the Lobamba National Church is a mountain of prayer that was made by King Sobhuza II to allow eMaSwati to pray to God in troubled times, and that the Lord will answer all prayers that have been made to Him during the pandemic.
Inzaba Sobhuza wasinayakha lendlu wasibakangwana nakukhona lokubahluphile bayawungena kulendlu bathandaze uyawubeva abalalele abandelele bakucelayo.
His Majesty has further implored the nation to continue giving him the gift of peace.
Ngoba wathi kubakhuluma naSomhlolo emakhosi emukela wefika Mswati wesibili wasa kulandwe laba lebana leBhayibheli liyavetwa ingosi kuSomhlolo babalanza babebela pha kumahamba kwabongena kwalo iBhayibheli eveni lakangwane. Sibusisekile nebekunene kubete lo lahla lithemba. uNkulunkulu nasonzela kuye njengesivyo sakangwane. Simethemba simathwa sendela lokukhulu. Akayosilahla akalahlani. Nesitukulwane lesitako sawubusiseka. Mswati lokhona lamuhla lodalwa nguSobhuza uyamathi uNkulunkulu. Uyathi uthi uNkulunkulu akalahlani. Uyathi uthi uNkulunkulu bekunguyidolo. Uyathi ukuthi lamuhla unathi. Uyathi ukuthi kusasa uNkulunkulu utaba nathi. Ucela ukuthi live lonke lakangwane nabe khona lelingampha kona. Ucela kuthula.
Pastors like Reverend Simon Zima assured the nation that with God on Eswatini's side, the outbreak will disappear into the ashes of history. Pastor Albert Twala implored the nation to give thanks in all circumstances as commanded by the Holy Book, while another pastor who delivered an inspirational sermon was Bishop Dora Mabuza, who assured the nation that God didn't bring the country this far to abandon it. On the news, I'm Sandila Makanya reporting from the National Church in Lobamba.
Her Majesty the Indlovukazi has assured eMaswati that their Majesties are always thinking about ways to better the nation despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Her Majesty the Indlovukazi was speaking in Sipoqosini constituency, where Her Majesty was represented by His Royal Highness Prince Majaha when presenting blankets and food parcels to Sipoqosini elderly.
Her Majesty the Indlovukazi, who is the patron of the Philani Maswati charity organization, has showered about 100 elderly people of Sipoqosini with blankets and food parcels as a way of celebrating King Sobhuza II's birthday. Her Majesty the Indlovukazi, represented by His Royal Highness Prince Majaha, has described King Sobhuza II as Moses.
Ukuthi emakhosi ayanithanda sibili ayaqala njalo acabangela ukuthi inhlala kahle yabogogo nabomkhulu injani njengoba nami bangithumelana bathi angihle ngitolanza sibusiso noma bogogo nabomkhulu suke kutolanza tibusiso todvana kepha ke njengoba silana ke sibanjiswe ngema sponsors la Firecard baka Prime Bakery nebaka Times of Swaziland nabo busomabhizinisi naye Dr. Mabena ngicabanga kuyekeli lokho baqhubeke bafake baphose ezivivaneni bangagcini la Sipoqosini kuphela kube naletinye tinkundla nalena kubonakala ukuthi bogogo nabomkhulu baseSwatini bayaphila baba nempilo lenze bayaqhubeka kakhulu nini bekumele ithi ngithathele ithuba lekusho ukuthi namhla utalwa mkhulu wethu lomkhulu eveni Moses weMaswati niyo inkosi Sobhuza nguye lokubona ukuthi kwakwethu eMaswati etintweni letinyenti kubondiphethe nalokwa ngithi ke angikuthumise lokho ngithi ngincemane sikushaya letandla bekunene njengoba kutalwa ichawe namhla sithole nelikhekhe ukuze enjoy sidle nabogogo nabomkhulu sibonana ukuthi sihleti sonke sijabulile lilanga lelinhle.
Philani Maswati Charity Organization Chairman Lutfo Dlamini says the act of hosting the braai for the elderly is meant to instill the importance of this day. Phazamisa Mhlanga, Sipoqosini Chief Dom's headman, has thanked their majesties for taking care of the needs of the people of the kingdom. Eunice Khoza, representing the beneficiaries, thanked their majesties for the assistance and for visiting Sipoqosini. The elderly received bread, mealie meal and blankets. For Eswatini TV, Sondomlangeni in Sipoqosini.
Government has incurred a loss of over 11 million emalangeni in repairing accident-damaged government vehicles registered under the Royal Eswatini Police Service. This is contained by a compliance report that was delivered by the Minister for Finance, Neil Reckenberg.
In a compliance report that was tabled by the Minister for Finance in Parliament, the Auditor General says he communicated to the National Commissioner about non-recovered costs incurred in repairing accident-damaged government vehicles registered under Royal Eswatini Police Service, amounting to 11,046,785 emalangeni. These include both outsourced repairs done by private garages and in-house services for the period of 3 years, from January 2016 to 31st of March 2019. The Auditor General said he sought to ascertain if the accidents had been investigated and whether the costs that were incurred in repairing accident-damaged vehicles due to negligence had been recovered from concerned officers or parties. Also, to establish whether or not irrecoverable losses had been reported to the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Finance for deliberations by the Losses Committee. The Auditor General has expressed his concerns to the controlling officer, who is the National Commissioner of Police, about unrecovered costs of repairing accident-damaged vehicles from the concerned officers or parties, which continues to be a heavy financial burden to government and the taxpayer. He says those responsible was often not brought to account for the damaged vehicles, and aggravating the situation is that these losses are not reported to the Losses Committee so that a decision is taken to recover the public funds or write them off if necessary. In his response, the National Commissioner acknowledged the Auditor General's findings and stated that all the accidents had been investigated and those found at fault had been charged and brought before the courts, where some of the cases had been finalized and some were still pending. The National Commissioner also pledged to undertake a number of steps to remedy the anomalies and assured the Auditor General that the processes will be completed before the end of the current financial year. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Linton Kule in Parliament.
The Auditor General says an amount of 16 million emalangeni that was donated for the 50-50 celebrations was not regulated. This is contained in a compliance report tabled by the Minister for Finance, Neil Reckenberg, in Parliament.
The Auditor General observed that a resource mobilization special account from the Standard Bank of Eswatini for monies donated towards financing costs of the 50-50 double celebration was not regulated. There were no regulations to govern the inflow and outflow of the cash donations, which amounted to 16,992,415 emalangeni. It was also concerning to note that the ministry did not follow public procurement procedures when engaging suppliers for catering services amounting to 2,728,000 emalangeni in respect of 50-50 double celebrations. Furthermore, the Auditor General says some companies that were engaged under the program of 50-50 double celebrations were owned by 3 public officers. The companies were paid 1,562,000 emalangeni. The Auditor General continues to say payments for services rendered during the 50-50 double celebrations amounting to 4,354,449 emalangeni, as reflected in the resource mobilization account bank statements, had no original source documents such as payment vouchers, purchase orders, invoices, and delivery notes. The Auditor General also says a payment of 635,238 emalangeni was paid to Mtabich Groceries for the supply of groceries for the 50-50 double celebrations was also poorly supported. There is a sum of 1,116,711 emalangeni which was paid to prompt response for the double celebrations, were a surplus to those stipulated in the list of ingredients which were supposed to be used for preparing the meals, as those had already been supplied. The Auditor General says there is a further concern that a contract in relation to a payment of 8,522,640 emalangeni to Super Science Ltd for the installation of a street branding signage and other related branding services for the 50-50 double celebration, spelling out the nature, scope, payments, terms and condition of service to be provided, was not availed for audit purposes. Therefore, the authenticity of the payment could not be ascertained. The Auditor General says further investigations revealed that uniform worth 726,000 emalangeni, which was purchased from Century Fashions for use by ushers during the 50-50 double celebrations, was poorly accounted for. The compliance report is yet to be debated in the House of Assembly. Eswatini TV News, I'm Linton Kule in Parliament.
We will now take a look at the COVID-19 update from the Ministry of Health. One more person has died due to COVID-19 complications in the country in the last 24 hours. The Minister for Health, Lizingosi, says the deceased is a 74-year-old man from the Manzini region who was admitted on the 8th of July 2020 in a critical condition and cared for in the ICU at Lubombo Referral Hospital. He later succumbed to COVID-19 today. This means the country has recorded 25 COVID-19 related deaths. The minister says 44 people tested positive for COVID-19 today in the kingdom, bringing the number of confirmed cases to 1,938. There are 993 active cases, 876 have recovered from COVID-19, while 25 people have succumbed to COVID-19. The Manzini region has recorded 947 cases, Hoho has recorded 701 cases, Shiselweni has recorded 157 cases, while Lubombo has recorded 133 COVID-19 cases. We will continue with the news. Residents under Eswatini constituency in the Lubombo region have complained against WaterAid for failing to fulfill their promise of providing clean water in the area. The promise, which was made 3 years ago, still has not been fulfilled. The residents had a meeting where they discussed a way forward on the matter.
In the year 2017, the 10th Parliament at Eswatini launched a water project aimed at providing clean water to residents of Eswatini with the help of WaterAid, who was given the power to run the project. The project was set to commence in 2017 and be complete by June 2020, but it had not started till now, and it is said it has changed altogether, with now boreholes being constructed, yet it was not the promise. The fed-up residents raised their concern in a meeting.
Le mali lo 18 million kwekuqala wathulwa kubani. Umbuto wami ke wesibili bekuthi ke nangabe yethulwa ku WaterAid kusho ukuthi lo fanele account for le mali le and i-accounting akhiphe ama-40 ngayo. Kusho ukuthi kufaka ukuthi kube ngu-WaterAid.
Akubuye imphendulo yokuthi seyintshintsha njani i-project. Ngoba phela i-project nayithulwa kwathiwa kufuneke emanti lahlobile. Hard water akalungi for empilweni yebantu. Kwathiwa kuta upgrade nal pipe la ka water. Nyalo nje kufuna ukuthi beli committee mbebobana babuyele emva babuye batotshela sive ukuthi sekudivethwa njani from the project nayiqala nje.
They say they were better off without the empty promises, which has inconvenienced their lives, and funds that were allocated to the project that have no longer fulfilled the aims of the project. The constituency headman Maibongo Dlamini says they are working around solutions on what is the next step, as they had invited water project to the meeting, but they have not even honored those invites. He says they need answers from WaterAid. The water project chairperson says they as a committee are also in the dark on this issue. When contacted on the phone on the matter, WaterAid Country Director Amiso Mhlanga asked to respond to the matter on any other day, but not today because he was busy in a meeting when we were contacting them. For Eswatini TV News, I am Kian MCB, Kamalinza.
Premier Bakeries Eswatini has assured the nation that what tasted like soil particles in their bread and as a result raised concerns from members of the public is no longer an issue. Premier Eswatini donated bread to residents of Malinza area and at Eswatini in Nkundla.
With an aim of giving back to the nation and giving assurance to the nation that their products, especially bread, which received complaints from customers a couple of weeks ago, Premier Swaz Bakeries has donated bread to residents of Malinza and at Eswatini in Nkundla. Jabulani Dlamini, the sales manager, says this is for the customers to attest that indeed the bread no longer has those particles they had complained about.
He says
they value their customers and concerns, therefore they will take it upon themselves to remove the bread particles from shelves and rectify their mistakes. Lungile Gama, who is a former senator and legislator, thanked on behalf of the beneficiaries.
Sibonge nje kakhulu kuba Premier Bakeries ukuthi nasikhala sinkundla yaseDokotweni singimalinzi umphakathi basabele ngalokukhulu ukudimisela.
Maibongo Dlamini, who is the constituency headman, says this will go a long way in feeding those who are in need, especially during the time of COVID-19.
Sive noma kukuncane singwasiyawenda umehluko. Ngiyakholwa nje ukuthi batawulala badlile nalabetebula batakupheka namhla batawulala kunconywana. Iqiniso lesijiyane njengoba ubona nje lendzawo lena yimbi kakhulu, imatima kakhulu kude lokudliwako.
Premier Eswatini say they will also take this donation to other places as well for Maswati to attest that indeed their bread is now in good condition. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian MCB, Kamalinza.
Let's take a look at our sports news. The World Rugby Union hosted a COVID-19 return to play awareness course for its members. Naomi DuPont, the Mbambane Cheetahs coach, who was part of the course, says the most important part of rugby is the safety of players and hence the need for the Rugby Union to host the workshop. We apologize for the technical difficulties. That's all the news we had for you tonight. Up next is the weather forecast. Good night and God bless.